For centuries, pilgrims have set out from Lisbon to Santiago. They've walked not for ease or comfort, but for transformation. Each step carried them through the landscapes rich with history and the prayers of forgotten saints. Along the way, they sought forgiveness, healing, hope, or simply the chance to lose themselves and to be found again. To walk from Lisbon was to make a deeper vow, to surrender to the road, to the rain, to the sun, and to the weariness and wonder. It was a promise to let the journey itself change them long before they ever reached the holy doors of Santiago. The Camino Portuguese stretches from the bustling heart of Lisbon to the sacred towers of Santiago de Compostela, spanning approximately 620 kilometers of ancient road, quiet villages, and shifting skies. It weaves a living thread through the soul of Portugal and into the rolling hills of Galicia, Spain. This path, which begins amid the vibrant pulse of a modern city, soon softens into a pilgrimage of stillness and memory. It carries you beside the broad, breathing expanse of the Tagus River, past Templar sites, and along the worn footsteps of Roman roads. This vlog exploring the Lisbon to Porto section is the first chapter of the Beginner's Guide to the Camino Portuguese series. You'll find the next part covering the road from Porto to Santiago linked here or found in the description. In this video, I'll guide you through the essentials, the best times to walk, what to pack, where to find a warm bed each night, and what kind of daily costs to expect as you follow these ancient paths. I look forward to taking you with me on this journey. Enjoying the content? Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Reaching the trailhead is easier than you might imagine. A flight into Lisbon followed by a short subway ride with just one simple transfer at the Alameda station is going to carry you very close to the cathedral's ancient doors where you will pick up your pilgrim's passport. So after you deplane, walk towards the baggage claim and exit the airport through door 7. Walk under the awning and head down the flight of stairs to the ticket booth. There you can purchase a metro ticket to Rocio Station. So once you have your ticket, walk to the Red Line San Sebastião platform. Board the train and take it until Alameda, where you will transfer from the Red Line to the Green Line, heading toward the Cais de Sodré. So it's just a short ride from there to your Rocio Station exit. And it's a pleasant walk then once you leave the train station to the heart of Lisbon's old city, to the cathedral, and that's where you can go in and pick up your pilgrim's passport. Now, while there is an admission fee to explore the cathedral itself, if you simply let the attendant know that you've just come to collect your passport, they're going to wave you through and send you on your way. When to walk. Each season offers a different experience on the Camino. Most guidebooks are going to tell you the optimal time to walk is during the shoulder season, which is spring or fall, when the weather is generally mild and the trails are less crowded. Summer can be very hot and humid, making the journey definitely more challenging. However, no matter when you choose to go, I think you're going to be rewarded with the beauty of the Portuguese landscape, which just unfolds before you. Donna and I set out for this route during the second week of March, when temperatures were very pleasant. However, at the time that we walked, this corner of Europe was really in the midst of an unexpected abundance of rain, which proved to be a blessing and a curse. Our first week on the trail was spent beneath gray skies and steady showers. Each step was really a quiet baptism into the pilgrim's life. But by the second week, the rain soon gave way to sunshine and gentle seasonal breezes, and the fields, because of all the rain, were really bursting into bloom. And it was as if the landscape was really celebrating our passage. What can you expect? Well, during the first 5 days, the Camino presents very little elevation change, making it quite a pleasant walk in terms of terrain. But the difficulty for me was elsewhere. The first stretch, especially the initial 4 days, tested my endurance as I walked long hours on paved roads and through industrial areas. So it was less a physical challenge and more a mental one. However, this gradually changes, though much of the path still follows paved roads in this section from Lisbon to Porto. But you begin to leave the industrial area and begin to walk through quiet villages and past weathered ruins of the Templars, excavation of a forgotten Roman civilization. While the scenery becomes more and more rural and peaceful, stretches of the route still follow busy roads, so please use caution when you're walking so close to the fast-moving traffic. Now, the final days leading into Porto were some of the most memorable for me. The trail took us through a mix of quiet rural villages and busy modern towns, a blend of the old and new that just gave this stretch such unique character. We walked along ancient Roman roads, we passed through small village markets, and crossed the varied landscape of central Portugal. But out of all of the days on this part of the Camino, the walk into Porto was my favorite. Those last few kilometers felt so meaningful, like we were being gently pulled towards something special. We made our way up to the monastery of Serra do Polar, and the views from the top was absolutely worth it. Red rooftops, bridges, winding streets, and the Douro River stretched below. Then came the moment I really never will forget, and that was crossing the footbridge into the city. It wasn't just about arriving in Porto, it was the feeling of having earned it, step by step, and sharing that arrival with all the memories we had collected along the way. It's the kind of satisfaction, I think, that comes from doing something that is so difficult and stretches you physically, emotionally, and mentally. And when you're done, it leaves you with a deeper capacity for understanding and discovery, and really accepting those things that you cannot change. I won't go into much detail in this section as I've created separate videos that cover many of these questions, and you'll find the link in the description below. But are there other pilgrims on the trail? As with every trail that I've walked, I've never been truly alone. I've met pilgrims from across the globe that share their stories, dreams, and reasons for walking with me. Had Donna not made the journey with me, I would still have felt at ease walking alone. And as far as danger, I think your biggest concern will be walking on the sometimes very busy roads. How to train. Ideally, you should begin training at least a month before your pilgrimage. I'd prepare by walking a minimum of 3 to 5 miles a day, like 4 or 5 times a week. If you're training indoors on a treadmill, kick up that incline to 5 or 7. I think it simulates the hills and the varied terrain on the trail. Here's a few essentials that I never leave behind, no matter the season or the path. Smart wool socks, a lightweight silk or cotton sleep sack, a rain jacket or rain ponchos, trekking poles, and then finally for electronics, my Smart Cam Pro Grip. Now this is not a paid promotion for this electronic, it's just something that I genuinely love and rely on because it turns my phone into a camera that feels more like a classic 35mm DSLR, making it very easy to shoot smooth videos and photos even while I'm walking. And what really sets it apart for me is the built-in battery pack that charges my phone. As always, I use the Buen Camino app that you can get in the App Store and the Camino Portuguese guidebook, which I've also listed in the description. Now, where to stay? We had no trouble finding a place to rest each night. Because we used the Camino Portuguese guidebook and the app, we easily found lodging. We stayed in a mix of hostels, albergues, and the occasional hotels. Hotels were a bit pricier as they ranged from 75 to 100 euros. Albergues were either donativo or they charged a modest fee of 10 to 15 euros. Also, I might say, thanks to the rain, we did find an abundance of laundry facilities. Food, your food is going to run maybe 20 euros per day. It was very reasonably priced. However, some of the small villages do not have restaurants or they're closed. So we basically just would buy groceries and snacks and take them with us. This is my final thought about this trail. I mentioned earlier that in our first week of rain, it felt like a baptism until the pilgrim life. Well, the analogy here is that in Christianity, baptism is a very powerful symbol of an individual's choice to kind of wash away their old nature and to step into something new, something transformed. In many ways, every Camino feels like its own kind of baptism. We voluntarily choose a path that is not easy. We face long days, physical discomfort, and moments of doubt. But through it all, we begin to shed what no longer serves us, our fears, our uncertainties, and our need for control. To be baptized into the pilgrim's life is to step into a meaningful journey, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, with the hope of becoming something more. It's an invitation to reflect, to be challenged, and to grow. It's not about reaching Santiago, it's about who you become along the way. Symbolically, just as in Christian baptism, where emerging from the water represents rebirth, so it is with the Camino. As pilgrims, we take that final step into our destination. We emerge from our own waters. We come through the blisters, the weather, the doubts, and the quiet moments of clarity completely changed, reborn in some small or significant way. The Camino doesn't just take you across landscape, it carries you through a journey of the soul. And when you arrive, you no longer are the same person who first set out. Thank you so much for watching this. I wish you an amazing trip, and I say buen camino.